Coming up on today's episode,
It wasn't every single song from that artist, but it was the best of. It's kind of a crazy analogy, I know, but if you think about theme parks that way, it's the same thing. They're giving you a best of compilation.
the Bri Adventures Podcast is on now.
Hey everyone, welcome to the podcast, episode 1. I'm your adventure guide, Brian Rahman, and today we're talking about theme parks, roadside attractions, and more. So I want to preface this episode with the following. What I'm going to talk about in this episode is what we're going to have on future episodes of the podcast and some vlogs later down the line. This episode is a primer and probably will give you a good insight into what we will feature on the channel. And it's in no particular order, but just some of the things that we are going to focus on, what we're going to feature, and the like. So with that said, let's dive into it. First, before we get going on this podcast today, I wanted to talk really briefly about the historic documentaries that we have on the channel. If you're new here and you haven't seen them, take a look back. Some of them are places, well, most of them are places that I've gone before, and I've gone many times over the years, and so almost like a second home, if you will. From time to time, we'll be featuring some industry guests from TV, film, theme parks, and a brand new series coming soon. Our friend Jeff will be stopping by the podcast in a segment we're calling Retro Rewind with Jeff and Brian, covering all things retro, including 80s, 90s, TV, film, theme parks, and pop culture in general. So look out for that coming soon. The podcast exists as a place you could come to for information on the theme parks, updates, historic information, what to do when you get to a theme park, how to plan a vacation to go to a theme park. If we're going to be planning a vacation, we need to book a hotel. Where to go, where to stay, what's the best hotel? And especially these days, having your hotel tied into your vacation experience, your theme park experience, really adds to that immersive feeling that you want to have when booking your next vacation to one of these theme parks or attractions. I think most of us that have been to the theme parks, we all have our favorite hotel or hotels that we love to frequent, that we love to stay in. But every now and then you want to try a new hotel. And each hotel has its own specific theme, and they really add another dimension to your vacation stay. Hotels aren't just a place where you rest your head anymore. Well, they are, but the immersive theming that goes into these hotels are just second to none. However, back in the day, your hotel probably wasn't so tied into your vacation. It was just a hotel that you went back to at night to get some rest. So there's always been a thing about picking the right hotel, right? You just want to have some great accommodations. But these days, the hotels, especially on property in the theme parks, really take it to the next level. Do you want to bring that theme park immersion back into the hotel? A lot of the hotels these days are actually theming the rooms to attractions within the theme park, so you could kind of continue that immersive feeling. And this is also great if you have that family vacation planned and you want to take your hotel experience to the next level. There are several ways you get to and from the theme parks via your hotel. So if you are in a hotel that's like farther away from the theme park, you don't have to worry about just walking or just taking a shuttle bus. There's various ways you can get there. And on busy days, one way might be better for you guys versus another way. So we'll cover all that as well. There's also a lot of great shopping, a lot of great restaurants and activities to be had. Some hotels have anything from a lazy river to bowling alleys to other types of events and activities the whole family can enjoy. So when you're not in the theme parks and you want to just relax at the hotel, there's something on offer for everyone if you choose to use it. If you're not a guest to the actual hotel, you could take some of the transportation, like say the water taxis, around to the different hotels and indulge in some great restaurants that you may not have known they're actually in the hotel. Some of them are in the lobbies, some of them are on different floors, some of them are even roof level, which give you great vistas over some of the theme parks. So there's a lot of that to dive into too, and we'll feature that on future episodes as well. Shopping, it doesn't always have to be done in the theme parks. In fact, some of these hotels have some great retail shopping as well. Most of it is what you could find in the theme parks, but for those days where you're ready to go home, You can't go back into the theme park. You need a quick souvenir, a memento of some sorts, or just a gift to bring home to somebody. These stores have a lot of what you would find in the theme parks within the hotels. There is another immersive experience to be had when one goes to a theme park. And I would probably say it's the obvious, and that is what I like to call the recreations. Now, I absolutely love recreations. When you could step into a theme park or an attraction and feel like you're at the real place that it's modeled off of, then you know the creators of said experience have done their job. When you go somewhere like Epcot and you have World Showcase, you could be in various locations, various countries within minutes. And you really can't do that if you're going to the real places. You have to book airfare or some type of transportation mode to get from one place to the next. And it usually takes days upon days to do all that. Now, obviously, if you're a fan of a country or a place that you want to see in real life, then you need to go to that place and experience it. But what's nice about theme parks is, especially theme parks like Disney and Universal, who model their backlots and various buildings and lands and areas on real life places, you get to experience the best of, so to speak. It's like when you had a CD back in the day and you had a best of compilation of some of the best songs from your favorite artist. It wasn't every single song from that artist, but it was the best of. It's kind of a crazy analogy, I know, but if you think about theme parks that way, it's the same thing. They're giving you a best of compilation. I'm a big fan of everything historic within the theme parks. That's exactly where everything started. Where we are today in the theme parks comes from many years of the theme parks growing and expanding, and they keep continuing to expand. What I love about the theme parks is the atmosphere is completely changing from moment to moment. Every time you step into a new area or new land, the atmosphere is immersive within whatever that either IP is or whatever the land is designated to or designed after. And then we'll also be exploring roadside attractions. Now, for me, roadside attractions are great, especially the historic vintage roadside attractions. And there was this roadside attraction in a rest area or a rest stop, or at least nearby a rest area that you were going to. You'd stop by for a little bit. So we'll cover some historic roadside attractions as well as current modern day roadside attractions. Now, the other thing we'll feature on this channel from time to time is filming locations. Filming locations of movies. And one of my favorite things is movies that are tied to these theme parks where they've used the backlots. And it's always nice to know when you go to a theme park, when you're looking at a specific building, as I was mentioning before, and you could say, hey, I remember that building that was in that movie or TV show or commercial or music video. So today's episode, I just wanted to focus on some of the things we'll be doing here on the channel within this podcast exclusively. So I want to thank you for taking the time out if you got this far. And with that, this podcast adventure is in the books. Remember to take some time to enjoy your own adventures, and when time allows, come back and check out some more of Bri Adventures.